Hello family, friends, and YouTube. Today is July 6th, 2024. Snowee has 896 miles on her. We're getting ready to go to Southern Honda Powersports to have my seat installed. We are on the backside of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And for those of you that are not familiar, this was exit 81B right here. So this put us on the back end of Murfreesboro. But in Tennessee, the mile markers are consistent and the exits are consistent with the miles. Some states, you know, they randomly number their exits. In Tennessee, whatever the mile marker you are on I-24 or any other interstate is actually the mile marker in sequence. So I just thought I would add that little tidbit. So when you're at mile marker on I-24, when you're at mile marker 81, you are actually 81 miles into Tennessee from the Kentucky state line. Well, we're approaching mile marker 111. For those of you that are new to this channel, this is the exit I used to get off of when I was a superintendent of the Tennessee Correction Academy. Ironically, it is about my mark that I'm going to remember because Snowee is at 999. So we are going to see when it changes to 1,000. We're getting there. Come on, 1,000. There you are. So, ladies and gentlemen, where were you when your motorcycle reached 1,000 miles? Alright, it is 8:47 and we are entering the Chattanooga area. I'm basically 6 miles away from Southern Honda Powersports. For those of you who are just now joining this channel or viewing this channel, I purchased this 2024 Honda Gold Wing Tour from Southern Honda Powersports in East Ridge, Tennessee. I'm on my way back there to have an ultimate seat installed. Yes, I could have installed it myself, and yes, it could have been mailed to me. But it wouldn't have given me an excuse to go on a ride, and it wouldn't have given me an excuse to go back to Southern Honda Powersports.
Turn right onto Carwell Lane, then your destination will be on the left.
Here we are, Southern Honda Powersports. Pulling in now. I guess I will go back to the location where Cruiseman and I both parked the last time we were here. And here is Snowee before she gets her new seat. Well, without further delay, let's go ahead and report in. Well, they got my seat all hooked up. As you can see, my seat is all hooked up. Comes with a backrest. That is the ultimate seat. The ultimate seat tall boy, I think they call it. And getting ready to leave Southern Honda Powersports. And as I said before, you can't come here without adding a little something extra. So I went ahead and got myself a little something extra. I got the lights and the luggage rack, and also I got it in black, and they were wonderful. I came without an appointment. Other than to have the seat installed, I came without an appointment, and Southern Honda Powersports put me in the game and took care of me in less than 2 hours. I'm impressed. Of course, I was impressed before I got here. As I was telling you before, this is the place to come. Southern Honda Powersports. I'll have some more to say when I get on the road, because I want to talk a little bit about my experience while I was here. This has been awesome. I'll see you as I get on the road. I'm more than excited, but I had entered a traffic jam leaving Chattanooga, and that's par for the course. So anyway, I want to talk about my experience. When I got there this morning, Kyle was off today, so he's the operation manager, and he sent me to Sean Adams, who's a wonderful, well, of course all their staff is wonderful. He sent me to Sean, and Sean took me to the seat that I went to get installed. And then I learned some stuff that I didn't know. I didn't know that, you know, the dealership, when they order seats, they don't particularly order just your seat. They order bulk. So when they put a bulk order in, they have to wait for that entire order to arrive. They don't have seats, you know, trickling in one a day or anything like that. They just have a bulk order. So that explained the, you know, the mild delay I had to experience waiting for the seat. But it's okay, because I got to go to Southern Honda Powersports again, and I had a wonderful time. I also got a chance to make up for some stuff that happened last time. Some of the staff that I met that I didn't actually introduce because I couldn't recall their names, and you know, motorcycle Mitch, he was the guy on my last video that I had referred to as the follow me guy. I didn't mean any disrespect by it. I would just simply, you know, I didn't know his name, and when I do a video, it was probably inappropriate for me to comment on people without knowing their names. So I went back to the young finance lady. I went back to a couple salespeople, even the fork operator who got my motorcycle off with the forklift off the top rack when I bought it on May 11th. So I went and got a chance to redeem it by putting them guys in this video. I'll display their pictures, their title on the screen as I continue to talk about this wonderful experience I had. I came in and, you know, again, look around. It's the Bass Pro Shop for motorcycle people. That's all I can say. Southern Honda Powersports is the Bass Pro Shop for motorcycle enthusiasts. Basic Honda. If you're a Gold Wing, that's your place. Now, I understand that they had a large shipment of Gold Wings that came in a couple weeks ago. That was mentioned in a previous video by someone else. I believe Cruiseman mentioned that they had a whole lot come in. When I got there on the floor, there were very few, because they sold over 50 Gold Wings in just such a short period of time. So that's your place to go. It is definitely a place to go. And of course, while I was waiting on my seat to be installed, I started looking around and decided, hey, you know, you can't come here, as I mentioned earlier, I can't come here without picking up something. So I thought, let me treat myself to some Gold Strike. Let's see, because they have an entire wall. Gold Strike also, just a shout out to Gold Strike, need to keep them stocked. You're getting low on certain items there. I think I got the last one particular item I got, which is the black rack to go on the motorcycle. I believe I had got the last one of those. There was only a couple of the black lights with the, instead of chrome. I wanted that trunk light to be black, so they only had a couple of them. And with the amount of gold wings being sold there, I know the accessories probably fly out the door too. So if Gold Strike, if you're listening, hook them up, keep them supplied. But anyway, there's an entire wall of Gold Strike stuff, and I went with the manager, and we looked at all the stuff. We were going over the things, and I had to pull the trigger. You know, you just got to get some stuff. So I decided I wanted that brake light that, you know, that had, you could program it to flash the trunk light. I wanted it. Then I also wanted the light that goes on the rack. I wanted that the rack on the trunk, but I wanted that in black, and I got lucky they had one. But you know, I wanted the one with the light version. I wanted the one that had the light strike stuff on it. So I said, okay, I'm ready. That's what I want. So I'm gonna get these items, and of course, you know, you can't stop there, because as if with anything, you know, there's other things that you're going to need, and I needed the distribution block as well in order to plug the lights up. But they were great. And then I said, hey, you know, I know y'all put my seat on, and you got a lot, because they were very busy, and I'm like, I know you got a lot of people in here. What's the odds of sometime throughout the day maybe I can get these items installed on the back of my bike? You know, I mean, or do I need to make an appointment and come back another day? The gentleman, Shane, said, let me go check with the service department. And the next thing I know, they said, no, we will take care of you. We will get you fit in. And it is right now 12:33. I was at that shop at 9 a.m. and I am fully decked out. They took care of me without an appointment. They fit me in, and they were swamped. They had going left and right. I don't even think they had all their mechanics there, but they took care of me. This is the type of dealership we are talking about. We're not talking about a dealership that, you know, doesn't actually care about their customers. They actually, a couple of them even remember me from coming. You know, even though it's been 2 months ago, they still recognized me, and I was impressed by that. But as I said, I wanted to show all the staff members and their names and titles that I interacted with personally. The gentleman, Motorcycle Mitch, he's the one that sold me the motorcycle. And if I ain't mistaken, Big Ham, yes, Big Ham, it's on his business card, Big Ham. He took care of me when I was there. I mean, everybody pitches in when you're there to buy a motorcycle, whatever they need. Certain people do, you know, the service department people do their thing, finance does their thing, everybody does their thing, and they just work as one massive team. I'm overly impressed again. I looked forward. A lot of you said, I'm in Georgia now. Yes, I'm still going to Tennessee, but there's just a part of Georgia that you have to go through. But they said, I told them I was actually moving to do a few things, and they fit me in. They took care of me, and we moved pretty quick. I didn't expect to be that quick, because I knew there was a lot of people that they were working on. And of course, the lights that I had done to the back, I know it's complete trunk has to be removed, so you have to do all of that. So I really, to be honest, I really wasn't expecting them to be able to take care of that stuff. And I was contemplating in my head, how exactly was I going to haul all this home on the back of my bike and put it together myself? Well, I didn't have to worry about that, because this place took care of me. And I know I mentioned it in a previous video, but I can tell you for a fact that there's no other place I would buy a motorcycle. I don't care that I drive almost 3 hours to the shop. Yes, I drove 3 hours to get a seat installed. I understand. Yes, I could have had it mailed to me. As soon as it came in, they would have mailed it to me. But I wanted to go to the shop, and I did. And it was a wonderful experience. So I'm going to come out of here. I'm getting ready to roll. I rolled out of Chattanooga already, and I'll come back in and talk a little bit more. But it's 92 degrees right now, and Snowee has 1,090 miles, and I got to open up the visor and stuff. I got to get me some air, so I'll be back in a little bit. Well, while I was waiting in the waiting area, looking at their big 84 or 100 and some inch screen TV they have on the wall, I met a gentleman named Wayne Nix. He was interested in the channel, so I'm sure he'll be following me. If you're listening, Wayne, it was a pleasure to kill the time with you. While I was coming out of the service area and they took me to my bike, you know, I saw the rack and the trunk light and everything, and I kind of forgot that I came there for a seat. So it took me a second to realize, oh yeah, oh by the way, let's talk about this seat. Well, I'm not sure what I can say about the seat so far. I do know it's thicker. I do know that it has put me up in the air a little higher, because now my toes hit the ground. I was flat-footing, now I can't flat-foot it because the ultimate seat tall. I'm a big boy, so my seat has to have the one that supports the additional weight. So it recommends that if you're 6 foot and if you're over 200, that you don't need the I think it was the midliner, or you need the tall. So that's what I have. I have the tall version. And I know Robert White, if you want to see what they are, how they compare to the OEM seat in comparison, like what they look like underneath, I can only tell you from right now, from just when I'm sitting on it. But Robert White, you can go to his channel, Robert White Moto, and you'll be able to see, because he has a video going over the seat comparisons, which is a pretty good idea. I left them with my old seat. I know I could have him mail it to me, and let's just say I'm in a generous mood. They're very nice to me. I'm sure they can have the seat. But anyway, this is different having a backrest. I'm not sure if it's exactly adjusted to me, because it feels like it's pushed me up closer to the fuel tank, and maybe I just have to adjust it to me. But I can't tell you how the seat's going to be. By the time I get back to Clarksville, I should have a pretty good idea in comparison to the OEM seat. I can tell you right now, and I haven't put a lot of miles on it, but I can tell you that it's wider than the OEM seat, and it's got a little bit more cushion. So I can't give you an honest review on it until I put, I have 2 hours and a little over 2 hours before I get home, so I'll put 2 hours in this seat and I'll be able to have a better idea. I just remembered that Shane also showed me in addition to the ultimate seats, he showed me this. I can't remember the name of the company. I will put it in the description, as well as I will probably flash it up on the screen. But this company makes these toppers that go on top of your OEM seat for those that, you know, don't want to fork out those big time dollars for an ultimate seat. They have another option, which you could get this padding that goes over top, which will give you a little more comfort. I personally, you know, when it comes to seats, yes, I wanted an ultimate seat because so many people talked about it. But you know, a seat is pretty much gas station to gas station. So if you got a seat that you can stay on the saddle for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, by that time you got to refuel. So, you know, if you got a seat that you can get on and stay on for 2.5 hours, then you're fine. If you're probably a person like me and a few others that I know, sometimes we stop at a fuel station and we don't even stretch our legs. We get fuel and then we take off again. So we want a seat that's going to last us, you know, 4 to 5 hours in the seat without stretching our legs. And I'm hoping the ultimate seat will do just that. Now, those of you that are not new to this channel and have been following this channel, you know I've been experimenting with my audio. I've had the audio at one point where I was running 2 audio sources, one inside the helmet and one on the exterior, so you could hear the engine. And then in post-production I would turn around and sync them and then dial up or dial down based on how noisy it was, so that my voice could override, also removing echo. And I also used to tape up I have a Senna Impulse helmet, and I would tape up with electrical tape all of the seams, all of the cracks around the visor. I went through a lot of electrical tape, and it's just too hot to do that. So I went back to this version here of audio recordings, and I think it's just going to have to be this way. So I'm free to open up my visor when I need to. I can pull the modular helmet up when I need to. It's just, right now it's 94 degrees, and I'm glad I did not seal up the helmet to come down here. I just have to have airflow. So I'm pretty sure I can, you know, improve the sound in post-production, but I believe this is the format for motovlogging that I'm just going to stick with. It's been working before. A lot of people were commenting how good a quality of the sound was, but even the sound of the last version I had when I went to Illinois, that I taped up part of the helmet, but not all of it, because I wanted to be able to play with the visor. And so it did have a lot of wind noise in it. But here I am, I'm traveling 75, 80 miles an hour on the interstate, and I'm talking to you. And when I get back, if this is clear, then I'm going to stick with this. This was my 3rd or 4th version of audio, and I think I'm going to stick with this one right here. I like it because I'm also tied into my Senna Impulse helmet mic. I have both mics in the same location. I'm now not having to record the exterior sounds of the engine. If I go slower, I open my visor on a backcountry road, then I will just have the visor open and you'll hear the roar of the engine and all that. But I'm going to stick with this audio system right here. Give a huge shout out to Moto Giant for those of you who do not follow his channel, he had a motorcycle wreck on the interstate, and he has a video out on his wreck. I wouldn't call it a video, I would call it a documentary. It is well put together, and it is for a very good learning experience. If you don't know, not only did he have a motorcycle accident, he also suffered severe injuries which led to amputation. So he had an amputation of his foot, and I think on his other foot he had a toe that was taken off during the crash. A lot of road rash and everything where he slid across the asphalt. Very lucky he didn't hit the side of where the gridges are, the cheese graters. But the point of this is to let you know to go check out his video. He has a message. You know, we all have things to learn from, and we all have things that maybe we can teach. He has taken one of the most negative experiences and found a way to educate others so that you don't have to go through what he went through. It's a wonderful, again, I call it a documentary. It is a wonderful documentary. It's Moto Giant. Go to him, and he just released it a couple days ago, I think, and very impressive. The message is impressive. The footage is pretty dramatic because, you know, you see him tumbling across the road, but you see how it happened. He talks about complacency. He talks about protective gear. Talks about a lot of stuff. But, you know, he's blessed. He is definitely blessed, and he wanted to share that with other people. So I wanted to shout out to him, not only for his channel, I wanted to shout out to him for the positive work he's doing in the aftermath of what he had to deal with and what he's still dealing with. We are now on the backside of Nashville in a traffic jam on I-24 as normal, but I don't want to open my visor because I don't want to alter the sound. But I do want to take this opportunity to give a shout out live from Nashville, Tennessee to Kyle Downey, who's the operation director or director of operations. I'm not sure exactly how it's worded, but he always thanks his staff. Anytime I say something, he says, well, no, that's my staff. This staff takes care of that. My staff did great on that. He doesn't want to take any credit for anything. And I want to personally give a shout out to Kyle to let you know that no matter what goes on, how small, you make sure that it's taken care of. So I want to thank you personally, Kyle, for all that you have done. You know, I mean, I know your dealership's a team, and I know you want all the credit to go to the team. I get that. I've been in leadership for many years. I understand that concept. But you deserve some credit too. And I want to thank you. We're now approaching Clarksville, Tennessee. I have ridden the new seat all the way back from Chattanooga. And I rode the OEM seat from Clarksville all the way to Chattanooga, to Southern Honda Powersports. So I can say I gave both seats equal amount of ride time, and this ultimate seat definitely makes a world of difference. I can feel it, but when it gets right down to it, as I said before, seat should get you from gas station to gas station. Technically we should be going 200 miles, 250 miles, well, probably about 240, and then you're gonna have to fill up anyway. So stretch your legs for a minute, get back on, and go another 240. So the seat is perfect. I don't know how I lived without the backrest. That is something totally different. It took a minute to get used to, but after you've been on the bike for 2.5 hours or better, I'm used to it. I like it, and I want to give a final shout out to all the men and women of Southern Honda Powersports, you guys have been exceptional. I am a lifelong customer, without a doubt. I don't care how far I have to drive. I'm a lifelong customer. Now, I'm a little old, so I'm not sure how that lifelong will be, but nonetheless, I appreciate everything you guys have done. So until next time, just live your life.